What's good? All right. So I want to talk to you because we've been having a conversation here for like a year about your passions, your motivations, and everything. And I feel like there's still like a gap here. There's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And so I think that we need to close this gap. But it really takes a lot more effort for you than like what you've been doing already. If you're doing the minimum and you want the maximum, like there's a gap here in between of like what's happening. Like when I was in college, I wanted to bring together a conversation, right? People were Christian on campus, some people weren't Christian on campus, and there was really like a little bit of tension like my second year, right? So I'm 19, I decided to make a documentary and go above and beyond the call of duty, right? Because the minimum in school is go to class, go to a party, graduate. Right? The maximum is get involved, be president of your fraternity, and at the same time make documentaries just because you think it's important. Like no one necessarily has to tell you to do it. That's when you know you're bringing your passions, your talents, your skills, and your knowledge, right? One of my passions is really educating people on different issues. My talent is speaking, so let me just highlight other people speaking. I know the people who need to have this conversation. I don't necessarily have the skill of film or editing, but that's something that I can learn and work and develop on. So I created a documentary called A Test of Faith, The Impact of Christianity on Black America. Now, when I made this documentary, I interviewed clergy, I interviewed historians, professors, students, people who were Christian, people who weren't Christian, parents of students, and really got all this different conversation going on and was able to bring all those people who I interviewed in addition to many other people on campus to have this conversation about what's Christianity's impact on Black America. Without churches, we wouldn't have made it through, like the 1960s civil rights movement. The preacher is really in slavery, just there to kind of keep the slaves subdued, and how some of those things are still persisting today, for better and for worse. And it's important that we have this conversation about, Christianity's positive and negative impacts. But see, the whole point was that I did the documentary just because. It's a 45-minute documentary, right? And look at me now. Word Up Wednesdays, no one's telling me to do this. I'm not instructed by anybody to do this. I'm just doing it every single Wednesday because this is something that I like to do. This is me going above and beyond the call of duty. The minimum, get a job, go to work, go home. The maximum is, let me see how I can make an impact on people's lives and actually do something that no one has to tell me to do. I do it just because. I'm in Chicago right now. It's raining, unfortunately, but it's been beautiful in the past few days. And I think it's important that no matter where I go, I recognize it's necessary to go above and beyond. So think about how you go above and beyond the call of duty, because that's the difference between the minimum and the maximum. That's the difference between where you are and where you want to be. Peace.